Hi, thanks for joining me today. We're going to work a little bit on some poses to help us with our confidence. Anytime we do some poses that work on strengthening our core muscles, it can help us to feel more confident as we go through our day, because when we find that we have that inner strength, it gives us the confidence to tackle something new, or maybe just feel more confident as we're going through our day. If you are a rider, if you feel strong in your core, it can help you feel more confident in the saddle. So we're going to do just a few things seated to warm up, and then just jump right in and do some poses for core strength. All of them will have modifications and variations, so don't be concerned about that. Start with something to sit up on. You can also start this first part seated in a chair if you'd like. I have a folded up blanket here to help give the hips a little height, to help find neutral spine. That's very important when we're strengthening our core, to have a nice neutral spine, so we engage the proper muscles to strengthen our core and support the spine. So just starting in that nice neutral spine, sternum lifting, collarbones wide. Make sure the head is right on top of the shoulders. The shoulders are right over top of the hips. Hands can rest on the thighs, palms up or down. You can close the eyes if you like, or just take a soft gaze down without letting the head drop. And just take a few moments to connect with your breath. Our breathing is an important part of our core strength and stability. So just notice your inhales and exhales. Just feeling the breath moving gently in and out of the nose. And then begin to make your inhales a little deeper, letting the breath drop all the way down into the bottom of the lungs. And your exhales a little longer, drawing the belly in, engaging abdominal muscles and diaphragm as the breath releases. And think slow, steady breath. Think of today a little different. We're going to think of filling the lungs from the top to the bottom as we breathe in. And then as you exhale, releasing the breath from the bottom of the lungs to the top. As you breathe out, and keep that steady pressure with the breath moving in and out of the lungs. So we're keeping, again, finding that core engagement. Our core actually comes from the diaphragm to the base of the pelvis, the pelvic floor. And then very gently let the eyes open. So take the hands, slide the hands right out to the ends of the knees. So we're going to keep that steady rhythm with our breath. So whatever that means for you, keep that steady, even flow. And just begin to gently circle the ribs. You may find yourself exhaling as you come back, kind of engaging those abdominal muscles, inhaling as you come forward. So almost thinking of our seated cat and cow pose, where we do our spinal flexion, which we'll do in just a moment, but just thinking first, just getting some movement in the torso and the hips, the shoulders. Inhaling and exhaling. And then take that movement and go the opposite direction. So circling the opposite way. And again, just notice sensation, notice the rhythm of your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. And then coming back to center, find that nice balance right again on top of the sit bones. And then hands again stay right at the knees. We're going to inhale, tilt the pelvis forward. So imagine if the pelvis were a bowl, you're going to spill the water out onto the front of the mat, lift the heart and the sternum. Take the gaze a little up if that feels okay for your neck. If not, just keep the gaze forward. And then exhale, round the spine, take the gaze towards the belly button. Feel that stretch in the back of the body. So inhale, tilt the pelvis forward, lift the heart and the sternum. And then exhale, rounding the spine. Good, one more time like that. Inhale. and exhale. And then this time as you inhale, come back up to neutral, find that nice length through the crown of the head, and then just switch the cross of the legs, the opposite leg in front. Make any adjustments to find your neutral spine once again. And then arms out by your side, fingertips to the mat. Inhale, float the arms all the way up. Exhale, twist to your right, left hand in front, right hand behind you. So we're engaging our internal and external oblique muscles. Inhale, float the arms all the way up as you untwist. They wrap around the torso. Exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale, again, back to center. And see if you can initiate that movement from the core, so we're not using the arms to twist us to the side. We're using our core muscles. Inhale, the arms back up. And exhale, twisting to the right. We'll do that one more time on each side. Inhale, arms sweating all the way up and overhead. Exhale, twisting to your right. And then inhale all the way up and overhead. And exhale, twisting to the left. And then back up to center. And then this time, just let the arms float down by your side. Good. So, again, just a little warm up for the torso. So whatever you're seated on, just move that out of the way and come to sit on your seat bones with the feet pointed out in front of you. Hands behind the thighs, roll the shoulders back. So we're going to work on the variations of boat pose here, engaging those core muscles. So nice deep inhale. As you exhale, just lift the right leg up. As you exhale, just lower the leg down just to the big toe touches, and then inhale, lift the left leg up, and exhale, lower. So we'll keep this going, just alternating. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower, and inhale, lift, and exhale, lower, and inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Now this time, as you inhale, lift the left leg. As you lower the left leg, lift the right leg. So we're finding that little balance point. Inhale, and exhale. And inhale, and exhale, and then maybe stay here, both legs lifted. Think of pressing the backs of the thighs into the hands if you have the arms here. Variations can be to keep the toes to the mat while still keeping that engagement of the core muscles, or even bring the hands behind for a little bit more support, maybe with the feet to the mat or the toes lifted, so your option. Inhale and exhale. And then again, whatever variation you're doing, another option, again, do what feels good. Maybe straighten one leg. Inhale, exhale, straighten the other leg. Inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. And then maybe straighten both legs for a moment. Inhale and exhale. And then cross the feet at the ankles. Come forward to all fours. So as you come forward to all fours, wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. So make sure you're on your mat so that you can extend the legs all the way back and still be on your mat. So again, just do a little test there. Spread the fingers wide, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Extend the right leg back, toes to the mat, press through the heel. Lengthen through the crown of the head. So we want to keep the head nice extension of the spine. So we're not letting the head drop down. Lengthen through the crown of the head, draw the shoulders down the back of the body, and bring the left leg back to meet the right. Come to an upper push-up position, plank pose. You can always bring your knees down to the mat. Just keep those core muscles engaged. See if you can see that a little bit better. Let me tuck this shirt in. So again, lowest ribs draw towards the hips. So we're not letting the hips sag. We're not letting the shoulders sag. We're lifting the heart up towards the shoulder blades. We're drawing the shoulder blades down the back of the body. We're lifting the hips up to meet the back of the body. And we're not piking them up. We're just lifting them up. We're thinking of drawing the lowest ribs towards the hips and breathing. Again, same actions with all those muscles with the knees to the mat. Inhale and exhale. Now draw lower belly in and up, sit bones up and back. Come to downward facing dog. You can bend your knees here. Again, still draw the lowest ribs towards the hips. You can straighten the legs or pedal through the feet a little bit if you'd like. Again, couple breaths. Inhale and exhale. And then come to stillness with the legs. Whether the legs are straight or the knees are bent, look towards the hands. Slowly inhale, bring your shoulders back over your wrists. Press back through the heels. Come to that plank pose again without letting those core muscles sag. You can always, again, drop the knees down. And then exhale, draw the lower belly in and up, sit bones up and back. Come back to your version of downward facing dog. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, come forward to that plank pose. And then exhale, draw lower belly in and up, sit bones up and back. Downward facing dog. Good. One more time. Inhale to that plank pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. This time, as you inhale and exhale, release the knees down. Fold back to a child pose. Breath or two here. Inhale and exhale. Hands can, you can turn the palms up if you'd like for a little release for the wrist. With that little break from resting our weight on the hands, you can wiggle the fingers a little bit. Inhale and exhale. And then press into the hands, come back up to your table pose. So we're going to do a few variations of side plank. So starting lying on one side, does not matter which side, we're going to do both. So I'm just going to say down, up, hip this down, hip this up, elbow this down, elbow this up, rather than right and left. So start with your elbow directly under your shoulder, your hips stacked on top of each other, knees in alignment or stacked up, ankles stacked up. And then pressing into this elbow, we're going to inhale and lift the hips up. So again, keep those hips stacked right on top. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. So make sure the head's not dropping down. Lengthen through the crown of the head, widen across the collarbones. Press into this palm. You can always bring this hand out for stability if you'd like. Inhale and exhale. So option, stay right like this, or maybe extend that top leg. You might need to adjust the hip a little bit. You can extend that top leg forward. Inhale and exhale. Good. And then another variation. We're going to bring that knee back in. And then now you're going to bring the wrist under the shoulder. Adjust the legs a little bit. Do your side plank variation here. Or maybe with that leg extended, or again, pay particular attention to the wrist to the elbow. You can come up to your side plank with the legs in a scissor-like position here. Inhale and exhale. Maybe the arm comes overhead. So again, variations, pick which one feels best for your body. Inhale and exhale. Now come all the way back down to table pose, and then fold back to child pose, or take downward facing dog. Either one is a nice neutral release for the spine. Inhale and exhale. And then come back to your table pose, and we're going to do that same thing on the other side. And I'm just going to turn around so I'm not facing away from you. So we're going to start with the elbow and the knees bent, just as we did before. So you might notice a big difference on this side, especially for those of you who are riders. We have a hollow and a stiff side, just like our horses do. So one side might be easier. Elbow under the shoulder, forearm and palm in connection with the mat. Hips stacked on top, shoulders stacked on top. Ankles and knees together. Inhale, lifting up. And again, you might stay right here for the whole time. This is perfect. Absolutely. Do what feels appropriate for your body. Just make sure you're breathing. Inhale and exhale. And again, and you can extend that top leg if you'd like. Think of lifting that hip. Imagine there's a string attached to the hip and it's drawing it up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. Good. And then as you're ready, lower that hip back down. And again, maybe just stay at this juncture with the elbow to the mat, especially if you have wrist issues. Second variation, hand to the mat, elbow underneath the shoulder. Inhale, lifting up, and actually turn the fingertips towards the front there. Actually, for me, particularly on this side, do your hand wherever it feels comfortable. For me, turning the hand this way like I did the first time, it does not feel comfortable for this shoulder. So I'm going to have the fingertips facing forward. So inhale, lifting up. Again, think of the tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head, one long line. Extend that leg out if you'd like. Inhale and exhale. Good. And then again, if you'd like to Bring both legs out. Again, make sure that wrist is right underneath the shoulder, and then extend both legs. Hand can be at the hip or the arm overhead. Inhale and exhale. Just make sure you're breathing. Inhale and exhale. And then as you're ready, release everything down. And again, option, coming to all fours, come to child pose or your downward facing dog. Sit bones up and back. Inhale. Good. And exhale. Good. Another breath. Inhaling and exhaling, and then bring the knees back down to the mat. Come back to your table pose. We have one more little sequence here. So from table pose, it's set up for our downward facing dog. So hands in front, press into the fingertips, base of the knuckles, and really make sure in your downward facing dog that your hands are shoulders distance apart, not too narrow. We don't want to put pressure in the shoulder joint here, and also not too wide. So you want to think of aligning the bones here, so we're putting even pressure on this shoulder joint, the rotator cuff, the parts that make up the rotator cuff. So hands in front, press into the fingertips, base of the knuckles, curl your toes under, sit bones up and back. Inhale and exhale. So again, couple options here. Think of pressing a little bit more into the left heel. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Does not matter how high. Three-legged dog, keep the toes pointing down. Look towards the hands. We're going to bring the knee, right knee towards the right elbow. Your upper body's in a plank position, and then you're going to send that leg back up to that three-legged dog. And then you're going to come forward and bring your right knee towards your left elbow. Feel those oblique muscles turn on. And inhale, lift the leg up. And then one more time, come forward. This time, bring the knee right towards the center of the chest. And come all the way back up. Now release the leg down. Stay here for a breath or two, or take a child pose to give the wrist a little break. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. If you were in your child pose, come back up to that downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, and then inhale, lift the left leg up. Bring the left knee towards the left elbow. And then inhale, lift the left leg up. Does not matter how high. Bring the left knee towards the right elbow. And then inhale, lift the left leg up. And then bring the left knee towards the center of the chest. And then one more time, lift the left leg up, and then release the knees down, take a breath, and then release the knees to the mat and curl the toes. Bring the hands this time back beside the feet. Now, if your head doesn't come all the way to the mat, just stack up your hands in front, or you can rest them on that cushion or blanket you were sitting on before. Inhale and exhale. Another breath. Again, just reconnect with your breath, that internal core. And then slowly coming up. You can come up seated on your heels, or come to cross-legged on your blanket or cushion, or even use that blanket or cushion on the top of the heels to give yourself a little padding, whatever feels comfortable. So just for a moment, find that length of your spine once again. And then just bring the hands in front, interlace the fingers, press the palms away, get a little stretch in the hands. Bring the arms up, draw the lowest ribs towards the hips. Release the hands all the way down, maybe a little wiggle of the fingers, a little rotate of the wrist as you come down, letting those wrists release. And then just let the hands rest on the thighs, palms up or down. Let the eyes close. And again, just check in with how you're feeling. And we find that inner strength from working with our core. It can help give us that little boost of confidence that we may need to try something new, try something different. And as you're ready, gently let the eyes open. Bring your hands to your heart. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that little core sequence. Again, lots of variations. So always do what feels appropriate for your body. You know, maybe not every day is full plank day and full three-legged dog day. You know, do what feels appropriate for your body, but a little bit each day really helps. So please check out the information about my website and classes below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you sometime soon in the saddle or on the mat. Thanks.